What a fun night. This is going to be interesting. We'll see how many we have to take. I'm going to go for a new record. Lucky number 7. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Can you guys hear me okay? Yes? Well, we got over 5 minutes on that one, so that was... this is just absolutely ridiculous. Again, I will say, if we have an interruption in the stream, I guess we're going for a new record tonight. I will be right back on as soon as I possibly can, so just hang in there. We'll get this going. This is just so silly. Anyway, so just hang in there. I will remind everybody also that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel, so please be decent with each other in the chat. No racism, no nastiness, and we'll go from there, hopefully. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to midnight. Yeah, let's hope not. Yeah, they don't like me tonight. Well, it's been increasing again, the games. So yeah, I don't know what the heck's going on. Only got 10 fingers and 10 toes. Yeah, I'll have to stick up a foot is 5 and then use a hand. Let's hope we don't get to that point. Let's hope not. So anyway, here we are, take 7. We will try to get this one. And I still, think about this, still have not talked about the topic yet. A big increase, big uptick, right? Hey, Red Wolves 2015. Hey, Ed, do you see all schools shutting down again due to the corona and flu virus mutating together? Yes, I do see that coming. That's one of the things I was going to be we're going to be talking about that, the uptick in the virus. Thank you for that question, and thank you very much for the donation. Yes, I do see we're heading into that next phase that I had talked about. Okay. Hey, John Christopher, take my money fast. Well, thank you very much for the donation. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Finally got my bang bang last night. Ammo was a challenge, the truth were. Well, good to hear that you got it. I'm glad you did. And if you have to hit a whole bunch of different stores to get your ammo, do what you have to do. But get as much as you possibly can before things go completely insane in this country. So anyway, big uptick happening. The U.S., and I'm going to give you yesterday's numbers first, and then I'm going to give you today's numbers, okay? So yesterday, Tuesday, there was an increase up to 62,000 cases, new cases in the U.S., okay? It's a number they haven't seen that number since the summer. So the numbers had gone down. Now they're starting to increase again. Today, we were at 63,601 new cases. Now, the good thing, if you want to call it this, deaths are down, only 877 deaths countrywide. We're at 225,044 deaths. They had 63,842 more recovered. So they're saying that 5,334,772 have recovered. So it's still about right now about 3 million people in that range, close to that are sick at the moment with the virus. But when you're having that increase happening, you're having schools are starting to close. Look what just happened with Michigan University, right? They told them to stay at home. It's starting to get worse. Okay, things are definitely accelerating. Saw this coming. Not surprised in any way, shape, or form. I said there would be a lull. As they started to open things back up again, I said you'd see an increase. And then when the fall came, which is now fall into early winter, you're going to see a lot higher numbers happening. Okay. Asif, COVID-19 just proposed to flu. I've been invited to a wedding, but not planning to attend. Europe's numbers are worse than the spike in April and May. Yes, I was going to actually talk about Europe as well. Thank you very much for the information, Asif, and thank you so much for the donation as well. European numbers are increasing as well, and actually Ireland, and I wanted to talk about this really quickly because Ireland's not a great, big, huge country, right? Ireland just entered on Thursday a 6-week lockdown. All right. And they're telling people to stay. And I want you to think about this. Stay within a 3-mile radius of your home. So people that like where I'm at, I'm out in the country, 3 miles don't put me anywhere near anybody. No stores, no gas stations, no nothing. So 3 miles would be like, you might as well just stay home, because you're not going to get to any place in 3 miles where I live. Okay. But anyway, so they started the lockdown, and what is basically what they have said, it's going to cost 150,000 people their jobs with the lockdown in Ireland, and it's going to cost the government 1.5 billion euros. So I want you to think about that. That is a tremendous increase with that. That's a lot of money, and for a 6-week lockdown. And they're telling now I think they're doing, bars and restaurants are still going to be open, but it's going to be takeout only, and so it's just. But people are going to be out of work. People are going to lose their jobs. When you're talking about 150,000 people in a very small country losing their jobs, that's a lot of people. And again, the bills don't stop coming in. I've talked about this before. The bills don't stop coming in for people. The bills still come in. People still have to try to make a living. They have to take care of their families. When you don't have an income coming in, how are you paying the rent? How are you paying for groceries? How are you paying for your gas and electric? Gasoline for your car insurance, your cell phone bills, all those type of things that, car payments, all these things. How are people paying those? When you don't have a job to go to, you can't go anywhere, and you're locked down. All right. Do I see lockdowns coming back in the United States? I see it happening. I really do. Hey, Adventure World, thank you very much for the donation. I do appreciate that. Thank you. Again, depending on who wins the election, and again, I really don't think it matters who wins the election. Basically, Biden has said that he would do another lockdown. That's basically what he said. So Trump has steered away from that. Liverpool, Manchester, Newcastle, Wales are in a lockdown. Norman Liu just said that. Thank you for that information. I do appreciate that. Yeah, it's getting crazy. It is getting crazy. I know other parts of Europe, what they're doing is they are going into, I wrote it down here. Let me just look at this real quick. Targeted regional lockdowns. So if there is an increase of COVID in one area, they're locking down that area. So they're trying to do it that way. Now, again, here right now in the United States, you got a lot of people fighting against it. A lot of people obviously don't want it. But again, what blows me away, and I've said this before, I'm going to say this again. They're telling people to social distance. They're telling people, wear the mask. They're telling people, not to gather in large groups and all these type of things, which is fine, right? Except there's a problem with that. If you're a protester or rioter, you can gather in a large group, and that's fine. Now, how does that make any sense? You can't attend funerals, right? You can't have a whole bunch of people going to funerals. But I know, like with Ireland, they're saying like 10 people can go to a funeral. That's it. But here, they're telling people not to go to a funeral. They're telling people not to go to church. They're doing all that type of stuff here, and telling people not to get together. But it's okay for rioters and protesters to get out there and burn down cities and destroy stuff and all those type of things. That's perfectly fine. Does that make any kind of sense at all? No, I don't think so. I think that if it is as bad as they say it is, the protesters are out there, they're catching it, they're taking it home, and they're giving it to their family members. And I think that's one of the reasons why you're seeing an increase in these cases, because people are catching it. It's just not being reported in the news because it doesn't fit the agenda. Okay. That's kind of my thought on that. So yeah, it was a cat quake. Bella just climbed up on the bed. So I'm sorry she did that. What are we at? We're at 828 in the chat now, guys. We're at 252 on a thumbs up. I'm going to ask for a thumbs up to show support for the channel, and I appreciate it if you guys would do that, and thank you very much ahead of time. Also, the more interaction that we have with the thumbs up is better for the channel. We get higher in the algorithms. So thank you for that reason as well. The third reason is I like to see a lot of thumbs up, so thank you for that as well, and I appreciate it. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Hey, Mountain Kayaker. Normally, I'm an optimist, but I think 2021 will be worse than 2020. Yeah, you know what? It would not shock me at all if it is worse, to be honest with you. It wouldn't shock me at all. It's a scary, scary situation. Real quickly, I wanted to show you again, for those of you who have not seen this, if you go to the website, her website is 4-20. So it's the number 4-20 spelled out, .square.net. She still has the We Are Legion Prepper Nurse 1 gaiters available. So if you are interested, go check that out. If somebody would throw that website up in the chat, JJ, if you would throw that up there. Oh, actually, Brent just did that, so thank you. So it's an opportunity to get a gaiter. They're fun to have. You can use them for riding. You can, with the whole social distancing thing, if you're going out in public, you can actually use that. That qualifies as something that you can use if you're going out in public. Okay, so just putting that out there as well. So, your choice, but they are available, and part of the proceeds do come back to help the channel. So it's just another way to support the channel and actually help her as well with what she's doing over there. So if you would go check that out, I would appreciate that, and thank you. Real quickly, since we got a good amount of people in here, and before this thing would jump off again, hopefully it doesn't, talk about my website really quickly. PrepperNurse1.com, and then we're going to get back into talking about everything else, okay, I promise. PrepperNurse1.com, we have the Prepper Nurse 1 community there. It's a resource that we set up for you guys to connect with like-minded people. Really important way to connect with other like-minded people. You do have to register. It is totally free to join. It does not cost anything. So thank you. If you would like to join us, we would love to have you there. Again, you do have to register, but no credit card information is asked, and it is totally free to register, okay? The second thing we have on the website is jdega.com, which is the CBD and hemp store. Really good thing to have. A lot of good uses. Helpful for pets, helpful for pain. CBD products are also helpful for, indigestion issues, GERD, all kinds of things. It really does make a difference, and it really helps with that. Hey, Roy Stonerook. New York T reported 9 deaths from flu vaccines in South Korea. Wow, I did not know that. Not surprising. That happens every single year, to be honest with you. Thank you very much for that donation as well. But again, a lot of good uses for CBD products. Definitely take advantage of that. If you go to their website, which is going to be in the link below, also on the website, if you click on their symbol on the website, it will take you to their website. If you decide to make a purchase, make sure when you're checking out, use the discount code PrepperNurse1, and it's the number 1, not ONE, and you will save yourself 15% on your purchase. The other thing I wanted to let you guys know, the Legacy freeze-dried foods that I have on my website, starting on Friday. This Friday, we are starting our sale, so Friday morning it will be available. 20% off every purchase for Legacy freeze-dried food. We're going to be doing that. That's going to start again this Friday, and we're going to run it through, I believe it is the 8th of November. So obviously starting Friday, going through then, with the increase of the cases of the virus and everything else that's going on, I think it's really important, again, to be proactive, get ready ahead of time. So if you would like to add to your long-term food storage, it's a good thing to have. I have a lot of it in mind. And it's a really good product. I highly, highly recommend it. So definitely take advantage of that. And again, save yourself 20% starting Friday. Okay. So I wanted to put that out there as well. So, and here's the thing is, guys, whatever side of the aisle you sit on with the election coming up, no matter who wins this election, we're going to be in for some very tumultuous times moving forward. I want you to really realize that, because no matter what side wins, the other side is not going to be happy. And so be ready. Make sure that you're squared away on your needs and what you need to have ahead of time for that. And with the virus now starting to rear its ugly head once again, I think those numbers are going to go up as well, and it would not shock me at all. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it would not shock me at all if we have another lockdown. And if we do, are you ready for that? Are you prepared? Do you have enough food, water, medical supplies? Do you have masks? Do you have gloves? Do you have goggles? Do you have some kind of way that you can, face mask type of thing? I'm going blank here. A gas mask. I'm sorry. That's what I was thinking. Hey, Shadow. Billions of money college received from China and other foreign countries not reported until investigation showed the money trail. Wow. Yeah, that does. You know what? Again, that really doesn't surprise me. A lot of these institutions get a lot of money. They're doing stuff all the time. Like where my daughter goes to school, they had one guy, a former student, he ended up donating like $50 million to the school. Hey, L. Gibson, Canada is setting up isolation camps to be used for the sick and other things the government deems necessary. That is scary. Prepare, folks. Wow. Yeah, that is scary, L. Gibson. Very, very scary. Thank you very much for the donation, and thank you for giving that information as well. Hey, J Medic, do you think a blackout is possible? Marv mentioned people preparing for something possibly happening after the election. What are your thoughts? Would not shock me in any way, shape, or form. Thank you very much for that donation. One of my biggest concerns, and I've said this right along, if you guys have been watching me for any length of time, one of my biggest concerns has always been a grid down situation, because that is the very best way to destroy America, is a grid down situation, because we will eat ourselves. We will eat ourselves. And I'm telling you right now, look around you. Who is a threat to you near where you are? I'm going to tell you what. I have assessed that situation where I live. I can tell you right now. Hey, GEH 1507. I hope you're getting paid for all the commercials you keep interrupting your stream with. Lord bless you and the Preppers family. I hope so. That would be nice if they do. Thank you very much for the donation as well. I do appreciate that. With it doing it this many times today is just, now thank goodness we're on a good run this time, which is nice. Again, I'm going to go past 20 after 9, guys. If this run keeps going, I'll throw an extra 20 minutes on. We'll go to 20 minutes to 10, okay? Just because we had all those interruptions in the beginning. So hopefully we can keep this going, stay on, and not have any other issues, okay? I see we're up to 1,000 people in the chat. We're at 428 on the thumbs up, guys. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would please ask you to do that to show support for the channel, and thank you ahead of time for doing that. I do appreciate that. Also, it really does help with the algorithm, so the more interaction, positive or negative, but positive is always better. It really does help with the algorithm, so thank you for that reason as well. And I do like to see a lot of thumbs up, so I'm not going to lie. That's another reason I like to see a good showing of thumbs up. So thank you for that reason as well. Again, also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would also ask you to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification for all notifications as well. So thank you for that as well. Trump has built the economy, helped veterans, supports law and order. Our Prepper Artie Franklin said that. Yeah, you know what? Increased the military, strengthened our military after Obama had basically gutted our military. So, a strong military is a strong deterrent for people that don't like us. But again, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. There's been an increase of cyber attacks. Pay attention to that. Hey, Tabby Tab. Do you have a general list of what we can go off of? A general list as far as what you should have? I think that's what you mean. I've done a tremendous amount of lists through the years as far as prepping things I think you should have. I think you should focus, again, I'm going to address this as if you're a brand new prepper, you've never prepped before. My suggestion to anybody would be to start off with, make sure you have at least 2 weeks worth of food and water. Make sure you have a way to purify water. There's many different ways to purify water. Make sure you have 2 or 3, maybe even 4 different ways to purify water. That way, if one breaks down and it's not working, you can go to your backup sources. There's a lot of ways that you can do it, okay? Definitely make sure water is number one, guys. Water is number one. Number 2 is going to be food, and then once you get past food, you're going to need your medical supplies. You're going to need to be able to defend yourselves. That's going to be hugely important. Don't let people just come in and take what you've worked so hard to acquire, all right? Again, those are really important things to have. Make sure you have plenty of clothing. Make sure you have shelter. Make sure you have a way to keep your house warm, especially if you live in the Northeast. It's really, really important, okay? So that's another thing. Make sure that you have ways to keep warm. There's all kind. I could do a list right now, and I could do the rest of this stream about what you should probably have in preparation ahead of something happening. Flashlights, hand crank flashlights, hand crank radios, anything that you can have that's not going to use a lot of batteries. That's a good thing. Having rechargeable batteries, having some way to recharge things, a power source of some sort. There's a lot of different things out there, a lot of different things. I have not turned the heat on yet using the fireplace. Me too. Well, I don't have a heat source, so other than my fireplace. That's how I stay warm. I stay warm with the fire. Best cheap weapon for protection. You know what? 22. I would say that would probably be the best thing. Cheap, if you want to go cheap, a 22. You should absolutely have a shotgun. The shotgun has a very distinctive sound that everybody knows what a shotgun sound like as you chamber around. That in itself is a deterrent for some people. So that's important. I think you should absolutely have a shotgun. So, but anyway, again, so I want to go back to what we're talking about, because like I said, I could give you lists for days on what you should have in preparation. But again, having candles, really important as well. Hey, Shadow, the uniform they are wearing means very little. Red Riding Hood thought it was her grandmother. It was the wolf. Oh, absolutely. In a post-event, if somebody comes up to your home or your retreat and says they are military or say that they are police officers and they're in uniform and they're there to help, don't trust that. You trust no one. In a post-event, in a worst-case scenario, guys, you don't trust anyone. Because most likely they're coming there to take your stuff. And if you let them in, you need to turn them away at the door. Not even at your front door, down the street. You're not coming down here type of thing. And tell them to get on down the road. And I don't care we are the military authority and whatever. You just tell them to get on down the road, because bad people will do bad things. They will kill police officers. They will kill military men. They will take their uniforms and they will use them for their advantage. So that's something to think about. Be very aware. Be aware of your surroundings. And one thing I will always tell people, listen to your gut. If your gut tells you something's not right, something is not washing, listen to that. It's really important, because you never know. I did want to mention too, really quickly, while I was thinking about it, I am now on a couple different social media platforms. Prepper Nurse One, I am now on Instagram. I've been posting every day there. And I'm also on Twitter, Prepper Nurse One on Twitter. So I actually did my first tweet the other day. I've been throwing some pictures up on both sites. So as well, stuff that you wouldn't see normally. Obviously with the video, you're not going to see different pictures. So definitely come over to both of those, to Twitter, Prepper Nurse One. Also to Instagram, Prepper Nurse One. Join me on both of those. And good, it's just another fun way to keep abreast of what's going on. So try out Twitch. Well, I just got into those two, so I don't know about Twitch. So no Twitter. I'm not, okay, so just so you guys know, I will not be posting anything political on Twitter. Nothing political at all. Strictly, it's going to be about my homestead, what we're doing here, maybe some inspirational tweets, stuff like that. I don't know, but I definitely will. Only place I'm actually going to talk maybe some politics is going to be on here on YouTube. So, Instagram is basically going to just be, pictures of stuff that is going on that we're doing, whatever project or whatever the case may be. And like I said, Twitter is not going to be used for any kind of political basis at all. So just so you know. 80K man said, just followed you on Instagram following. Very cool. I appreciate that. Thank you. But okay, egg count. Let's do the egg count really quickly. All right. So what is everybody's guess on our egg count today here at the homestead? It was actually warmer today. It was like we did have rain. It was overcast and cloudy for the most part of the day. But let's see what everybody has here. I'm trying to look and see what you guys are putting. Hold on. Okay, finally. All right. If you had the same guess as Nest Prepper, which nobody else did, she's the only one that said it, one egg. One egg today. Nest Prepper said one egg, and Nest Prepper is right. They are just not laying right now. There's a lot of the birds. They are, again, they're molting, which basically means they're growing new feathers. So that takes a lot of energy from the bird to grow the new feathers. And so they're getting ready for winter just like we are, And so that's why they're not laying. The weather has something to do with it. The amount of sunshine that we have has something to do with it, and the fact that they're molting. So, yeah, we had one egg today. The last 3 days in a row, I think, has only been 2 eggs each of those days, but today was 1. So that's the first time that has happened. So that's why I was laughing, because I was looking to see, and nobody was guessing that. But, yeah, that's, they're protesting. Yeah, they don't like the weather. But what are you going to do? It's just that time of year. And we just have to, it's part of what we deal with. Shirley Nickel RN just said, just followed you on Instagram. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, I wanted to address something. So in my earlier video today, and I had somebody actually made a comment, and they were like, you just lost a subscriber because of what I said on my video earlier today. So I want to address that really quickly. So I talked about they're up in for vote is legalization of marijuana in 4 more states. In Mississippi is voting for legalization of medical marijuana. Okay, 11 states plus the District of Columbia already have legalized recreational use for marijuana. So I took it one step further, and I said 30 years ago, I said they need to legalize marijuana, regulate it and tax it. And I also said they need to legalize prostitution, regulate it and tax it. So I want to be very clear on that topic. Prostitution is never, ever, ever going away. They don't call it the oldest profession for nothing. So no matter, what your thoughts are, if you are, for it or against it, it's going to happen anyway. Okay. So my thought, and this is the way I look at it, if you can protect the girls that are doing it, keep them safe, keep them disease-free, put them in a safe environment where they can ply their trade, because they're going to do it anyway. Remember that, okay? No matter what anybody thinks, no matter what anybody says, they're going to do it anyway. Now, I know that in Nevada, it is legal in Nevada. They have like the bunny house, and they have all different places that you can go and do that, okay? Again, it's the oldest profession in the world. It's going to happen regardless. Would you rather have now? And nobody's going to want their daughter or their child to go into prostitution as a way of making a living, obviously, right? But would you rather have your child getting beat up by some pimp that has her strung out on whatever, or being in a safe environment and regulated? That's kind of where I was going with that. It's not going to go away, and it's a great tax revenue source again from something that is never going to stop. So like I said, I personally, not something that I want to do. But again, if some people are doing it, obviously. Hey, nose picking. Elena from the fam ed. Why must all portable battery chargers have cancer-causing chemicals? I need one without that. You know what? I don't know what to tell you. There's always going to be. We are so offended. Yeah, Harvey Black II. Thank you for the donation as well. There's always going to be something in that type of stuff. If you have to have something like that, you could put it in another room and have it charged that way. It would be a good way of doing it. Not having it close to you to charge those things up. That's the only thing is a solution, because if they all have it, it's going to be kind of difficult to try to get around that. Yeah, but even the sun can cause cancer. Yes, it can. Absolutely. At how much? Yeah, right. Come on and get some old Preppernurse 1. Hey, Scranton, VA. Thank you so much, Ed, for your egg fund until they start laying again. Wow, thank you very much, man. Scrap Man in Virginia, I believe, is who that is. Thank you so much for that donation. I really do appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Thank you. But yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, they just, that is my pimp. Yeah, that's right. That's Reese, guys. I'm pimping him out. I'm taking offers right now. No, it's just, people are so pent up and they're so locked into their point of view. I'm just making a suggestion. I'm not saying it's ever going to happen as far as that goes, as far as legalization for that, but why not? That's my thing. It's never going away. And again, but that's how it happens. But what can you do? Leroy Fox says, Scrapman, Virginia is the man. Yes. Yeah, that was a very, very nice donation. And thank you so much for that. I do appreciate that. Prepper Artie Franklin said, next time donate through PayPal and Ed can keep more money. Well, that is true, because YouTube does take 30%. They absolutely do that. But at Inflatables, rent by the hour. Yeah, there you go. It's just people are going to do what they're going to do. I'll tell you a quick story. I had a really good friend of mine, and we've remained friends throughout our whole lives. She was 18 when I met her. I was in my early 20s, and we worked out at the same gym, and she had this fiance. And like I said, we always stayed friends. We were friends forever. And then all of a sudden, the fiance was out of the picture, right? And I said to her, I go, well, what happened? Well, I know you were going to get married and the whole 9 yards. And she said, oh, he got arrested. I said, he did? And she goes, yeah. She said, solicitation of prostitution. And I'm like, no way. I mean, because I'm telling you, guys, this girl was a straight up smoke show. I mean, she was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And because of him going to a prostitute, that was the end of that relationship. And I felt really bad for her, because some men, no matter who they're with, they're going to go do it. They're going to do it regardless. Arthur Shawcross, there's another one. Think about him. Look him up if you don't know who he is, okay? He is still in prison. He was in prison for 15 years for killing a couple of kids, got out, moved to Rochester, New York, started killing prostitutes, and killed a whole bunch of them. This was back a ways, probably maybe in the 80s, I think it was. But yeah, they caught him. He had killed him. First of all, he should have never got out of prison for killing those two little kids to start with. And he was a sick puppy. But there's another, so again, people are going to go. They're going to do what they're going to do. You're never going to stop it, Again, if you don't believe in something, my thing is don't do it, So that's just kind of where I'm at with that. Yeah, Biden is creepy. Well, yeah, I agree with you on that one. Yeah, I don't understand why more people are not paying attention to that type of stuff. But anyway, the U.S. numbers are going up. The daily numbers are starting to rise again. So I think it is a matter of time before let's put it like this. I will not be shocked if we don't see another lockdown in this country. Will not shock me at all if that happens. All right. All we can do is continue to get ready, continue to prepare, use this time right now while as the numbers are starting to rise again. Remember back, I want you guys to remember this. Remember back in January when I was talking about this and I was saying, prepare now, get ready now. Things are going to get worse. Things are going to get bad. I was talking about it and people were, some of you listened. I know that you guys did. Some of you did not. But again, my legacy sale is starting on Friday. If you would like to add long-term legacy freeze-dried food to your preps, they got the shipping times down now, so they're shipping stuff out much, much faster. The only thing that still is not available is the breakfast, lunch, and dinner buckets. Anything with breakfast, they're still having a hard time with that one for whatever reason. Hey, Jay Medic, can you give an example of what a blackout situation would be in a city versus the rural areas? What would the people do in both areas to prepare? Hold on, let me read the rest of that. What should people do in both areas to prepare? Difference in preps. Okay, great question. Absolutely fantastic question. There's a big difference between rural and city prepping. In cities, in both situations, definitely have blackout curtains in both situations. That's something that would definitely be very, very smart. Again, in a city, you're not going to want to draw a lot of attention to your apartment if you're in an apartment or your house. So have a central location where you may be doing your cooking so that smell is not getting out there for everybody to smell. In the city, the best way to survive that situation is try to keep a low profile as you possibly can. It's going to be a very bad situation, and eventually gangs will go house to house. So if you can prepare in that aspect and be ready to defend yourselves, and if you can connect people with you as a support group, that is not a bad idea to have. The major difference between being in the city and being in the country, your chances of survival in the country are going to be greatly increased, and there's a lot of reasons why. For the most part, if you live in a rural area, you're prepared for whatever anyway, because that's what we do. We're used to having, power outages. We're used to having, like snowstorms and ice storms and stuff like that, and not being able to get out of your house for long periods of time. So people in the rural areas have a tendency to have more supplies on hand. Most likely they have a wood stove, where a lot of places in the cities are not going to have a wood stove, okay? So again, trying to keep yourself warm, that's going to be a big difference. You can isolate off a room in a city and try to have some way to heat that a little bit, even if it's just with the body heat of everybody in the house in that one room. Keep that one room warm. Keep, wool blankets, hugely, hugely important. I love wool blankets. If I can pick them up anytime, I am trying to pick up wool blankets. The difference too in the city from the country people have a tendency to work together more. All right, it's a different mindset from city folks, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. There's some wonderful people in cities. I'm not saying that there's not, but you have a larger negative element in cities. And that negative element will do what they want to do, okay? So when I lived in Flint, Michigan, I had a wood stove in my basement. Neighbor didn't like it. Mr. Rose just said that. Yeah, people are going to, there's always going to be people that don't like this, that, or the other thing. In the city, secure doors and windows. ADK man just said that. Very, very good advice. Have some way that you can have a bar that blocks that door so that people cannot get in. That's a really good thing, really smart thing. Again, even in the country, you should be able to make sure that you can secure your house. Doors are easy access. Windows, big picture windows that they could throw something through. Sliding glass doors is another one. It's an easy access point. When I lived in suburbia, we had a sliding glass back door to get out into the backyard. That'd be a really easy access point for somebody that is determined to get into your house. So, those are some of the things, but the mindset in the country, people are more willing to help each other. And I think that in a worst case scenario, your chances of survival in the country are going to be really increased because a lot of those factors. People willing to work together, you're probably going to have more supplies. You may already have a wood stove. You may have an independent water system. Okay, if you're in the city and the system goes down, no running water, no septic. The grocery stores are going to be empty in a heartbeat. In the country, you might even have your vegetable garden, or you may have a greenhouse and all those type of things. So there's a lot of big differences with those type of things. So that's it. That's just a few. But I hope that answers that question. We have a tough rural sheriff who will not tolerate Antifa or BLM. Mountain Kayaker said that. Well, that's good. That's absolutely good. Again, they're not going to come out. Locks are for honest people. Exactly. And the thing is that all that is locked doors only keep honest people out. If somebody's determined to get into your house and try to steal your stuff, they're going to get in. So again, that's one of the reasons why I like the fact that now that Mom and Beck are here. So I'm going to give you an example of that. And this is another good example of having family together and why. If I have to go run out someplace, they're still home. Okay. So they're still here. So somebody generally now is always here. All right. That's a really good feeling. So I don't have to worry about, somebody breaking into my house when I'm gone. Hey, Jay Medic, what do you think about life straws useful? You know what? I don't use the life straws because the shelf life on them, as far as how many gallons of water they do, that's not the best. Okay. And, you can use them. Will they help in a pinch? Of course. Something is better than nothing. Yes. But there's a lot of other alternatives that you can use that are going to be much more effective than a life straw. More bang for your buck as far as how much money you're going to spend. That's just where I'm at with that. Better Mom and Becky weapon trained. JJ asked that question. I'm going to tell you what, and I think I told the story before. Every year, my mother used to get into the turkey shoot competition at the local American Legion when I was growing up. And guess who won every year? My mom. My mom can shoot, knows how to shoot. I have the utmost confidence in her in a situation that she would be just fine. Becky, I don't know exactly what she knows. I mean, she grew up around it as a kid, but I don't think she's probably shot anything in a long time. Again, if the situation came up, she'll do what she's got to do. And I'm going to show her some stuff anyway, now that she's here. So being able to defend yourself is really a smart thing and very, very important. And knowing safety is a huge, huge thing. And I've talked about that before. So she grew up in that environment, but I don't know how long it's been since she's actually fired a weapon. Hey, nose picking. If we ever get stimulus checks again, utility companies and landlords would be able to garnish those checks. What say you? You know what? I don't know if they would be able to do that or not. Probably not. Probably not, because right now the Protection Act is in for renters and homeowners that haven't been paying their mortgage. So when the stimulus check comes in, people could just go to the bank and cash it. So I don't think that they would be able to garnish you that. That's not that's not going to be able to be doing that. So yeah, I think only wages can be garnished. Yeah, I think so too. I don't think that they can. I mean, if you have money in an account, can they go after your account and seize it that way? Of course. But if you know that was coming, would you leave that money in that account? You wouldn't. That's just, that just makes sense. So a lot of evictions are already happening in Las Vegas, follower of Jay said. You know what? That does not surprise me at all. I know different states, there's different rules. And so, yeah, it's, guys, I'm telling you right now, we're headed for some very difficult times moving forward. Really difficult times moving forward, regardless of who wins this election. So, again, plan appropriately. If you think that Biden may win, you better be getting yourself squared away, because there is an agenda on that end. And there's also an agenda if Trump wins, obviously. Okay. But again, you look at the attacks on the president. You think that they're going to stop if he gets reelected? It's going to be 4 more years of the same exact thing. That's exactly what it would be. And so that is, something to think about as well. But it's just continue to get ready. Continue. I mean, and when I say prepping, as far as food goes, and I've talked about freeze-dried foods, okay, which I think are an important aspect to have in your preps. But you need to have canned goods. You need to have your dry goods, your rice, your beans, that type of stuff as well. Make sure you have your honey, flour, sugar, if you use sugar. Some people, oh, well, sugar is so bad, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you know what? People are going to crave it after an event. They're going to want that, okay? Again, honey is a good supplement for that. Have molasses, all those type of things. Make sure you have plenty of spices to change the different textures of your foods. That's going to be a hugely important thing. These are things to pay attention to. Really need to pay attention to them. Just be as ready as you can be, and that's all we can do. When the time comes, you're going to be really happy. You pay shipping, the puppy is free. What? Just gave away Chinese citizens 180 US via the new government cryptocurrency app. Follower Jay just said that. China did that. What did the turkey shoot that your mom shooting consist of? Shotgun? Yes, Bryce. It was shotgun. They'd all come down there, and it was like a target, and it was a shotgun. So, and my mom always knew how to shoot. She was very proficient, and she was right on it. So, yeah, she definitely knew what she was doing. Keep all the condiments from the fast food too. Yeah, absolutely. That's not a bad thing either. You get your salt, your pepper, your hot sauces, whatever the case may be. Definitely. I'll tell you one other thing. If you go to Kentucky Fried Chicken, for an example, always get the hand wipes. Ask for hand wipes. Even if you don't use them, nice to have. Good little backup thing. I had two of the best jobs in the Depression were beekeepers and bootleggers. Well, that doesn't surprise me. People are always going to want their sweets. That's never going to change. I don't care if we're in a depression, not a depression. People are going to want their sweets. So honey is going to be a huge thing that way. And they're always going to drink. People are always going to drink. They're always going to do drugs. They're always going to smoke cigarettes. So that's not anything surprising. We're going to continue this on, guys, again. So if you just are joining us, I'm not going to stop at 20 after tonight. I'm going to actually go 20 minutes more because of all the interruptions we had the first 6 times. So this was take 7. So I'm adding 20 minutes onto the stream. So I'm going to go to 9:40 just so everybody knows tonight, just ahead of time. So just letting you know. We got 1,000 people in the chat. We're at 630 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do that to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. I appreciate that. Also, ask for the thumbs up because it really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction we have, it's better for the channel. It puts us higher up in the ratings. So thank you for that reason as well. Also, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. I'm not going to lie. So that's part of it as well. So thank you for that reason too. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you for doing that as well. So let's see. I wanted to look at something here. I was going to tell you something else. Oh, okay. They're talking about right now the number of deaths rising up to about 5,000 per week is the concern. And they think that by November that the raise in the death rate could be 7,000 a week. That's kind of scary if you think about it. That's a lot of people dying weekly. Again, the people that need to be most concerned, in my opinion, I mean, everybody should be concerned, don't get me wrong, but the people that need to be the most concerned, in my opinion, are your compromised people, anybody that has health issues, if you are way overweight, diabetes, breathing issues, that type of stuff, and also your elderly. My mom fits into both of those categories, okay? My mom is 77 years old. She is overweight. She already, every year she gets bronchitis, and I personally believe that will be what ends up killing my mother, because she just, there's going to be a time that comes and she's not going to be able to fight it anymore. I'm going to try to keep her as safe as I possibly can. We'll take care of her, obviously. If things continue to get worse, I'm just going to tell her, you stay home and don't go anywhere. Watch TV, play cards, talk to people, through Skype or whatever the case may be, but don't go anywhere. I'm going to try to keep her as safe as I possibly can. Mr. Rose, I have breathing issues since COVID. Yes, Mr. Rose had COVID. And I know that's another thing that's happened to a lot of people that have recovered. They have lung issues. They have, breathing issues. They have circulation issues, lack of energy. A lot of people are continuing to have a lot of problems after they supposedly recover from COVID. And the worst part is you can get it again. So now your system is weaker and you get it the second time. Is it going to be fatal that second time? If we can go back and look at history, the Spanish flu came through. The first wave came through, killed a good number of people. When the second wave came through, it killed even more. That's my concern moving forward. Is this thing going to get really, really bad and kill a lot of people the second time around? As the numbers continue to rise, we need to pay attention. Continue to prep, continue to get ready. Hey, Jay Medic, will you get the CV back if it's available soon? Absolutely not. I will not get any kind of vaccination, period. I don't trust them at all. I will not get a flu shot ever again. I will never get a COVID shot. Not going to happen. Again, I don't trust them. Okay. Anybody that I know, family-wise, I will encourage them also not to do that. Do you trust Big Pharma? I mean, let's be honest. Look what they've done to our children with autism. Look what has happened. Somebody just said earlier, 9 people just died from getting the flu shot. You look at every year the number of people that die from getting the flu shot. A tremendous amount of people. Okay, so stock up on peanut butter. Yes, peanut butter is awesome to have. Great protein source, good fat source as well. Peanut butter is a good thing to have. So it was one egg today. Ted Montana is asking about the egg count. It was 1 egg today. So, but let's see. I haven't been sick since 69 or 70. I'm going to tell you what, I've been very, very fortunate. I got sick last year. It was like last November, I believe. And I was down, if you guys remember, it was about 2 weeks I was out of commission. No energy, very lethargic. And it took me a long time to actually feel right again after that, I'll be honest with you. It definitely kicked my behind. I have gotten myself into better shape. That's one of the things I would encourage people also to do. If you are overweight, I am still overweight, okay? I am 210. I was 227, all right? But I have been doing a lot of physical activity. My weight has come down. I'm watching what I eat more, and so that makes a difference as well. But regular exercise, getting yourself in better physical shape. I want you to think about this, my friends. When SHTF happens, not if, when it happens, we're all going to be doing a lot more physical activity. If you are 300 plus pounds and you start doing physical activity, you could probably drop dead of a heart attack. That is going to happen. Absolutely, it is going to happen. Okay, not maybe, not it could,